Hi, welcome along to AFTV. Now, as you know, the coronavirus is wreaking havoc right across the world. A lot of us are stuck in our houses at the moment. There's been people going out to the shops and buying up everything. You know, you can't even get decent food to buy at the moment. You can't go to a restaurant, they're on lockdown. You can't go to a pub. So of course, you know, I'm a bit of an expert on football, Arsenal, but you didn't know that I'm also a very good cook. And I'm here today to give you one of my isolation dishes. Now, this is a very easy dish to make. For this dish, all you need is some rice, an onion, some peppers, and the main ingredient for the dish, corned beef, or as they call it in Jamaica, bully beef. Now, this was a recipe given to me by my mum, my late great mum, when she was alive, when times used to be hard. And I know a lot of Jamaican families will, you'll be able to relate to this. When times used to be hard, she'd be like, Robbie, get out of the shop, buy me some bully beef, because that's what they call it in Jamaica, bully beef. Well, I mix some corned beef and rice. Now, it's a very nutritious dish. I wouldn't recommend it if you're a vegan out there. But it's a very nutritious dish, can fill you up, and I'm gonna show you how to make it. Come. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Robbie. Happy birthday to you. Once you've done that, make sure you dry your hands. And your hands are clean. Cleanliness, yeah? Don't forget about this coronavirus things. Everything's got to be clean. Right, now that I've washed my hands, it's time to get into making the food. Of course, we've got our onion. Got to cut our onion up. First of all, you've got to take the skin off. Make sure you get yourself some good knives, yeah? Unfortunately, I don't have great knives at my house. I'm anti-knife, you see. Right, and how I do it is I just cut it into bits like this. As you can see there. Very important ingredient this. That's gonna go in and give some added flavor. Then, of course, a chili pepper. I've already washed it, in case you say anything. What I normally do, I just sort of like cut it down like that, and then cut a few bits off of it like this. This chili pepper isn't that hot. It's not hot like the one that I had to eat that time when I was doing that forfeit, right? Actually, as I'm doing this video, what I'd like to find out from you guys is, what do you think each Arsenal player, if you had to match them with a food, what would it be? Hector Bellerin, of course, would be a vegan dish, so I could imagine him eating something sort of vegan dish. Somebody like, what would Lacazette eat? Snails, being a Frenchman? Nah, I couldn't see Lacazette eating snails. I could see Lacazette eating a nice bit of steak, definitely. Aubameyang, blood clot, young rice and peas and chicken. All right, so I've got to open the corned beef here. This, of course, is the main ingredient of it. Have you ever bought corned beef and you can't find the key thing? It is so annoying, man. That used to happen to me a lot when I was a kid. You lose a key thing and you'd have to get like a knife and like juke up the top to open it up. So, all right, you take out your corned beef now. It's always it's always a bit difficult to get out of the can. Right, so it's out of the can now. And what I normally do is chop the corned beef into segments. So 1 segment, 2 segments, 3, and so on, yeah? And there you have your corned beef. Right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add this to our pan, all right? So come with me. For this now, I could add oil, but we're trying to stay healthy around it. So something that weren't around when my mum used to make this with me is this here. It's called Fry Light, little less calories to it. What you do is you get that and you just sort of, every spray is 1 calorie. Yeah, I want to keep you healthy here. So even some of the footballers, you could, you know, you might be able to have the meal, right? So how many is that I've sprayed? About 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, that'll do. Right, so once that oil is heating up, let me ask you another question. Who would you like to see come in for Arsenal this season at the back? I mean, we need a defender. Who would you like that defender to be? Leave it in the comments below. And also, if you've got your own recipes as well, let me know. I might even try them for you, right? But they've got to be dishes that can be easily done in isolation, because we don't know how long we're going to be in this situation. What we're going to do is we're going to add the onions and the peppers. All right, so that's going to go in there. Lovely. Just sort of squash them onions down a bit. Then you're going to add the corned beef. All right, so here, the corned beef has been done into sections. So we place them around the pan. Corned beef kind of has its own sort of little fatty bits on the side as well, which will add to the sort of oil in it, and then you just keep mixing it around. Now, I wonder if this will be a nutritious dish for a footballer. Why not? Food has changed a lot for football over the years. You see a lot of footballers now eating loads of pasta and stuff like that, and really eating a lot of different dishes. Whereas back in the day, footballers, they'd like eat big steaks before games and stuff like that. The nutrition in football is so different nowadays. When we were growing up, I always used to say to my mum, boy, this is a real ghetto dish. You know what I mean? And she used to say, get up, just get up and eat it. All right, so the corned beef's looking good here. Look at that. Mmm, smells good. Right, now it's time for the rice. I always like basmati rice. Of course, to make rice, if you don't know how to make rice, all you do is you get the rice, you add some water to it. The water just, I don't even measure it out. I just always sort of have my water just a little bit over the top. Before you even start making it, what you do is you put your water in and you wash off the rice in case there's any horrible bits in it, and you pick them out. I've already done that off camera. Didn't want to make the video that long, right? But then, once you've washed the rice, add the water level just above where the rice is, and then you put the rice under a flame, like this. And you boil the rice up. Put the lid on it, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna make the water levels on it boil up, right? But before it boils up and boils over the top of the pot, you then just catch it just before that, then you turn down the flame and then leave it to cook, all right? And so whilst the rice is cooking, let me just find out from you guys how you've been getting on with this coronavirus thing. It's been absolutely terrible, really, you know? No football, of course, now till at least the end of April, that's official. And it's just a really horrible situation, really horrible situation, but what can we do? Now I want to find out from you guys, what do you reckon? Do you reckon we should just void the season? Or do you reckon that the season needs to be played out till the end? Really love to hear from you guys. I personally think that the season should be played out till the end, you know what I mean? Because I still think Arsenal got a chance of getting in that top 4. The other thing is as well, all of our injured players will be back. So let's just say the season was to play in, say, June. All of our injured players should be back by then, unless they've done themselves an injury, you know, whilst, you know, preparing for the games. But they should all be back. They may be a bit overweight if they're eating food like this, but they should all be back. Let's see how the rice is getting on. Yeah, it's just simmering up there nicely. Now I've got a question for you guys. The summer's coming, of course. It's gonna be the transfer window. you can sell one player and keep one player, who would that be? Let me know in the comments below. Oh, it's starting to boil up there. Don't know if you can see it there. It's boiling up neatly. Put the lid back on there. That means it's the rice is cooking. The rice is cooking. It's starting to boil up. But before it boils up and goes over the top, I take the lid off. And you see it boiling down, and then I'm gonna reduce the heat on it. Right? So when you reduce the heat on it now, that's when it's gonna cook, and it's gonna cook tightly in. If that's the right word. So I'll just put the lid back on it and leave it there to simmer, I don't know, probably about 4 or 5 minutes. So that's been about 5 minutes now, let me see. Yeah, that looks decent. You can see there, the rice there is sort of all sort of filled out in the pot, ready to go. And the corned beef's ready. So let's serve it. So the moment of truth has arrived. Time to test bully beef and rice. Still as good as when my mum used to make it. Listen, as I keep saying with this coronavirus, we will defeat it. We will get back to normal. So keep following all the instructions that are out there, and football will be back soon. But as I keep saying, we're gonna beat this. The coronavirus has not just affected the world of football, but has affected everybody. But you know what? We can defeat it. There are some steps we can take. Number one, always make sure you wash your hands thoroughly. Number two, if you cough or sneeze, make sure you catch it in a tissue and dispose of it afterwards. And number three, if you're displaying any of the symptoms, always make sure that you self-isolate. I know it's a terrible time, but we will defeat the coronavirus. We will be back.